Hi, this is Dr. Micah Jazz with Be Still and Know. In a recent church small group discussion, someone declared that it must have been so much easier for those first disciples who had actually seen and been with Jesus. I remember thinking, I'm not so sure. Faith is required regardless of whether Jesus is present, as he was throughout his incarnate ministry on earth in mortal form, or today when we encounter that same presence through the grace of God's Spirit. Either way, we can only ever see the Son of God through the eye of faith. On this occasion, the crowds who had enjoyed a free picnic as Jesus taught them the day before go in search of Jesus on the far side of the lake. This crowd continued where they'd left off the night before when they'd attempted to appoint Jesus their king. Jesus sees to the very heart of their motive and contrasts their material desires with their failure to perceive their spiritual poverty. I make no judgment, for I see myself within that crowd. There is the constant desire that arises within me that somehow I want Jesus to resolve all my issues. This becomes an even bigger problem once the church confuses grace with the idea that God meets all our material needs. As Jesus explains later in the chapter, he is, in fact, all we need to live and to live well. I certainly once carried an expectation that one consequence of my obedient pursuit of God was that I would be protected from the harsh realities of life. I could treat God as little more than a divine slot machine for my wish fulfillment. Life experience teaches something very different. Within the bleaker experiences, I'm invited to turn from the path of divine pursuit and return to a road of my own construction. If I am to endure the winters that test my Christian resolve, I will need to differentiate between what I and the overriding social narrative within which I live perceive as my welfare from what God chooses for me. All too easily I'm consumed by social and cultural norms that shape our civil narrative and loosen my grasp of God's hand in an attempt to grip the insubstantial promise of an imaginary dream. This offers the mirage of personal peace, affluence and security, yet at the cost of losing my friendship with God. I hear Jesus' voice in the distance calling me to follow him, whilst challenging me as to where I am investing my energy. Is it in pursuit of the eternal, or merely in securing a larger piece of the material pie? As we enter into the God space today, wonderfully God invites you, as he did the crowd, to choose where you want to invest your energy. Whatever decision you take, the storms of life will still come to test you, and you will be invited to explore where your help and encouragement comes from. Amen. So I have made consistent decisions to pursue faith as I understand it in conversation with God. Am I correct in my understanding and decisions? I've no clue. But I have at least taken those decisions myself. Now please visit premier.org.uk/Voice of Hope. Follow along with these daily meditations at home. And also join me on Sunday for Premier Life as well as for Be Still and Know throughout the week. But for now from me, Micah Jazz, it's goodbye and God bless.